like being able to do it like this. So we are live, Megan.
Hello.
All right, hold on. I want to see something because I don't know. Well, whatever. We are live on my Facebook page. That's all I know.
Okay.
We are here in our own little private universe, but we will be able to see, I'll be able to see comments. You should be able to too on the screen.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So for those of you, oh, Tao's here. Hi, Tao. For those of you who've never watched live, this is brand new thing that I'm just kind of testing out, right? Like, what is it like to have someone live and do a quick little kind of session with or coaching? So this is kind of exciting and fun.
Yeah, it is exciting.
Yeah. And this is Megan. For those of you who don't know, this is Megan. I don't think our names are up, which is, I was going to check, but I don't even know how to do that. So I'm just going to leave it because I don't want to disable our live. Hi, Sheila. So Megan, you volunteered. You're from Burning Gold.
I did.
What do you want to talk about today?
Oh gosh, well, I'm so excited to be here and to see everybody and to get some time with you. I feel like this is really timely because I've had a question about work. I've been feeling a little lost about things for a while, and I kind of asked the universe, I said, whatever I need to learn or hear this week, because I'm taking the whole week off, let it come through. And then today you sent out that message, asking if anybody needed guidance on one particular area. And I really do. I've been doing medical billing for 10 years. I kind of happened into it by chance. I graduated school in 2010. It was a really, really rough year to graduate as far as job prospects.
Right.
And it happened by chance, but I feel like I've been in this industry for a reason. But I'm at the point with my current job where I am so maxed out, overutilized, overworked, overstressed. My boss is equally stressed out, and it just trickles down, and I just feel really, really taken for granted. And I don't know what the next step is. I don't know if I need to reshift my mindset or if I need to be looking in a completely new direction. Usually my intuition can really kind of guide me, but I feel completely lost right now, and I don't know what to do.
So you have other things going on that make it even harder, right?
I
Is that
do.
right?
I do. I have been sick pretty much my whole life, but never really knew what it was. Finally got the validation of a diagnosis in February with chronic Lyme disease. And so that has been a new thing in my life to work around and figure out. And
so I'm going to ask you a question because this is you've talked to me before. You know how this works. I'm never going to tell y'all what to do. There's your mom. Hi, Lisa. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm going to ask you a couple questions just to see if this is what I'm hearing is correct. Have you considered doing medical billing contract from home?
Not necessarily. I know that it's out there, but I don't know if I've actually thought about doing it from home before.
Because it would address a couple things for you with being a lot more flexible and more independent. So what's the fear surrounding that?
I have thought about getting a medical coding certification to work from home and to do it from home. I have fear surrounding the certification process that I physically and mentally cannot do it because the Lyme has interfered with me neurologically over the last year, and it scares me. I've always been a very good, accomplished student, and I started studying last year, and I had to take a break because I was failing all of my chapter exams, which is just not like me.
Okay. I will just put this bug out there, and I just want you to sit on it, put a pin on it, and see how you feel the next few days with it, how your dreams start to appear, and what other things come into play. Okay. Well, while it's true, you have been more affected, there's some things that you can do, and you and I can talk later too about what those things are to make it very possible, but I don't think Spirit would be suggesting it unless it was a real possibility for you. And probably not what you thought you were going to hear, because I do feel some level of resistance to it. But it's a pretty good possibility for you on all levels. Yeah. Because I don't, like, if you were to go work for somebody else, it's not, you're still going to run into some of the same issues that you're running into now.
That was exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, what is the point of trying to go somewhere else when I've worked other places. I know what the workforce is like. I know the crap you run into in the workforce in general, and it's just kind of everywhere, and you need to learn how to tolerate it.
And you've got a really good work ethic, Megan. I mean, this isn't about you not having a good work ethic. You really do. In fact, probably more than a lot of people that you end up working with, which is highly irritating too. So, but that bodes well for you doing something more independently from home.
Right.
Yeah. But it can go into other areas. And I'm not saying it has to be medical billing. You could actually just do billing for companies, accounts payable, accounts receivable, that sort of thing. And follow up for small company, but like from home, and be your own sort of boss.
That would be awesome. I mean, the dream would be to work from home. It really would be.
I think it would be good for you, and I think it allows for a lot of stuff. So I'm not saying you have to do medical billing, and that's not what they're saying either, but they're pushing me like, create your own thing. Set your own hours, set your own pay, and you can actually do really well at it. Plus then you have that added benefit of, hey, you don't feel good, you can sit in your sweats and do your work.
Totally.
Just saying, right?
Yeah, no, man, that's a huge plus for the days that you don't feel good and you can't really pull it together.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you, I see this great job coming, and I actually get that you're so much better off if you just break the 9-to-5 gig on all levels, because it breaks you out of the other struggles that you're having as well. So you were saying something about boundaries. So what was that?
Oh, yeah, I think part of the reason why I burned myself out and why it's so much easier with the chronic illness, I, like so many other people, especially empaths, it's so hard for me to say no to people. So hard. And I have been getting much better at it, but still I get, especially when I'm sick and I have other things going on. I'm doing a play on top of everything else right now. And part of the reason I'm feeling so burned out at work is because I don't allow myself to say no, because I fear rejection or abandonment, I think.
That is part of it, but that's not all of it. It's funny. It's more, this is more a learned behavior. I know your mom's watching. Lisa, I know you're watching.
Sorry, Mom.
This is not personal, so don't take it personally. You've learned this behavior. Do people pleasing, right? It's a learned behavior. We've talked a lot. Like, I've talked a lot on my broadcasts about generational curses, and they're not curses. It's just programming handed down generation after generation after, right? So, and this is, you've inherited that because you learned it. It's in your DNA as well. And so, watching your parents and that just adds to it, because it's like, oh, that's the way I'm supposed to be. Just always say yes. Yeah. Right. So it's going to take you focusing on not responding, not jumping in, not volunteering, not trying to rescue. You're going to have to work on like viciously aware of these programs that come up that say, go ahead and say yes, even though everything inside of you is screaming no.
So me.
Yeah.
That is so me.
But it's not like some people, yes, I would say that is, and I'm not saying you don't have this thing where you are afraid that people aren't going to like you, except you love you. But it's different in that that program was with you since birth, and then you adopted it as your own, and you're carrying it forward, which also means that you can break it. I mean, we can break it even if it wasn't something we learned or became a strategy for survival. It was just handed, like, we can break it no matter what, but it's up to you now to be very aware of why you say yes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first piece of this, and it's like, I know when I'm doing it, I feel myself starting to be like, nope, I shouldn't be doing this. Oh yes, I will do that thing for you. So if I can find a way to put some tape over my mouth and ask for strength just to set my boundaries and take care of myself first, I have to do it. Because here's the thing, with these additional ailments that I have now, if I don't take care of myself first, I'm not going to be good for anybody or anything. So it's become critical at this point.
So here's one of the things that I suggest you do, which is not natural. This is for all of you that have, because everyone's like, I have that, right? So one of the things that I would suggest you start doing, okay, if someone asks, can you, the first thing out of your mouth is, let me think about that for a sec. Okay. And then take a deep breath. And then I want you to ask yourself, does saying yes feel light or heavy?
That is great, Bernadette. That's what I need. I feel like I need to buy myself time.
You do. So you just
and take a deep breath.
Let me think about that for a sec. And then deep breath, you can close your eyes for a minute or just hang on just a sec, excuse yourself to the bathroom, right? Or let me check my calendar, even if you don't have one, right? Like, right. Open your email. And then just ask yourself, if I say yes, does it feel light and buoyant, or does it feel heavy? And if it's heavy, you know what? I can't. I would love to, but I can't. Right? I can't. I'm looking at my schedule right now and I'm just overwhelmed already. But I bet you can find someone too, and then excuse yourself, because otherwise you will let them talk you into it out of the guilt of saying no. Right?
I will do that. I will adopt that new method. I think that's great. Thank you.
It's simple.
Much.
It's simple. Yeah, but it allows you that like just that time, right? And I want you to practice it with, you're married, yes?
Yep.
Practice it with your husband.
Okay. I will let him know.
Hey, Meg, could you get me a cup? Hang on a sec. Give me just a sec. And then I want you to feel into that. Does saying yes to him feel heavy or light? That's how you start to practice.
Yeah. And if I'm doing it in a non-threatening or stressful environment, it's going to feel more natural when I actually try to apply it to the big stuff. So,
and you'll get a better feel for it. And sometimes it won't feel light or heavy. It'll just be neutral. And then it's entirely up to you. Do you say yes or no? Right. I mean, obviously, if he's like, hey, could you hand me my phone? You're sitting right next to it. That's probably going to be neutral, right? Like you can or you can't. But the heavier stuff, like, hey, can you go pick up my dry cleaning? When you've already got a full schedule and rehearsal and all this other stuff might feel more heavy. And that's when you need to say, I would love to, but I can't.
Yeah.
I'm just already overwhelmed. And you need to give yourself permission to not take on like so much. Yeah, breathe into it, girlfriend.
Yes, that can't bring words to my mouth. Yeah, that one's hard for me. It is.
So out loud, I want you to say this with me. You ready? I give myself permission.
I give myself permission
to not take on so much.
And
to just relax at times and do nothing.
and to relax at times and do nothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
man,
a hard one.
it really was. When I first started saying it, I just felt my body, like physically felt my body like pumping the brakes in my gut. And then by the end of it, I was like, oh, that feels so nice.
Yeah, your ego's like, don't say it. Don't do
Yeah.
it. Yeah, no. You're going to have to work on that one. Come back and watch this
will.
video a couple times. Watch your body, watch your face, watch the tension in your jaw and even your shoulders, because there's some tension there that's like your ego's like, don't say that. Don't. No, we don't want to do
You can
that.
do all the things. You're not
Yeah.
sick. It's fine.
These two, and it isn't about being sick, Megan. This is not about being sick. This is about being okay, just doing what you feel like doing and what brings you joy, and not doing what doesn't, and taking the time for yourself to recharge. And we don't learn, like, that's not what we were taught in school. Nobody taught us how to relax, recharge, rejuvenate. We weren't taught that. So then you have to teach yourself how to do that. Like, of all the people that watch my live streams, I think that's one of the things I noticed with almost every single one of you I talk to. Like, you don't know how to just do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Unplug and not feel like it's like people that ask me, I need to know my purpose. It's like, why? What do you want it to be? I mean, this isn't something that spirit defines for us. Our purpose really is, and I've taught this in Charm Life, and a lot of people are going to miss this, but I have a feeling you will understand this because you're like that.
Mm-hmm.
Your purpose is to just be joyful.
Mm-hmm.
That's your purpose.
I believe that. I do believe that.
Yeah.
I do.
And if that means that you have joy in doing things, do those things. It means you have joy in just kind of breathing and sitting still and watching the sunrise or set, then do that. Whatever you do, though, do the joy thing, because that is the purpose to our lives, is to be in that place, that resonance. And it seems so simple. We all want to move, but I want to save the world. That really is not why we're here. Some of us have a calling, and following that calling gives us joy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But a lot of people will chase after a calling, and there really is no joy. It's an obligation, and it's feeds the program of do. Look what I accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Look what I've accumulated.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And, a big part of that for me is realizing that stuff in my life may always be a little crazy. There's so much that I can't control. But I think a big piece that helps me bring it into focus is meditation. And I used to have a really good meditation credit go over the last couple of years. But interestingly enough, the company that I work for really does work-life balance. It's one thing I do really like about this organization. And in this annual meeting that we had with all of the employees, for a 1-hour break in the afternoon, they sent everybody out into groups doing a walking class and a yoga class. And I did the meditation class. And I spent about 35-40 minutes in deep meditation. And when I came out of it, it was like this was impermeable. Nothing could touch me for a couple hours. I mean, it was great. It was euphoric. And I think it serves as such a great reminder of the importance of meditation. And it's so funny because when I hear people talk about it, I'm like, yeah, I know meditation's important, but it's such a chore. But I really needed that reminder to just get back into the practice, because God, it does wonderful things for your brain.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of stuff coming your way with this whole thing, but I think things are shifting and changing. And I'm not going to say that your current company isn't an option for you to just work with them differently and set it up differently to where you are working from home. There's options, but a new job is not where this is leading you. This is just, let's do this differently in a way that works for you, more powerfully for you. Right? And gives you what you need with the flexibility thing. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bernadette, for your time. Thanks,
You're
everybody,
welcome,
for coming to listen to my
sweetie.
stuff.
All right. So go back onto Facebook. I'm going to take you off the stream. There's a couple things I want to hit on. with the Pluto Saturn conjunction stuff that I know everybody's getting hit with. You're no different. You're getting hit with it too. But this is a good
Okay.
one for you. Yeah.
Thank you again. I'm
All right.
popping over
Thanks
there.
for coming on, Megan.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So you guys, that was fun. Kind of. Did you guys like that? Kind of being sort of a fly on the wall with the conversation like that with someone who, I'm talking to. Do you guys like that? I just wanted to test it. I was just curious to see how that, some of you that have never worked with me, you don't know what it's like to work in a session with me. And while I made sure it was a very light topic, it wasn't going to hit on anything super personal because I don't believe in that out here in public. I did want to do something like that, just to kind of, get you guys a little acquainted with stuff. And in my Charm Life group, one of the great things about it, when we're doing class, is one person will be working with me on their one-on-one stuff, and the whole class benefits. So I think that's the other part of it. So if you guys do want to do something like that with me, and you're like, hey, I want to do that. And I already have 2 people that want to do that. Actually, Lisa's the next one that I'm going to do something like that with. Her mom, Lisa. Megan beat out Lisa on the list. Everyone will recognize something from someone in a session like that. Yeah, just like with Charm Life. Yep, absolutely. You're so right, Lillian. All right. So I want to talk to you guys briefly about the astrology today, because there has been some super souped up energy. How are you guys feeling? How are you feeling? Because the sun has squared Saturn, which is not an easy placement at all. It does tend to create some challenges, some responsibilities, some crisis and responsibilities, some questioning of what our responsibilities are. It does call for us to be a little more patient. That's the energy today. The moon is sextiling Venus, which is a good transit, especially for women. It's a more friendly transit. But Venus is squaring Saturn. And it's, how do I put this to you? A little foggy. Trying hard to work and creativity is not flowing. Sort of out of control. Are you feeling that, Sheila? Yeah. Seem to be in such an analytical place, trying to move out of it. All right. So Saturn conjunct Pluto is hitting right now. And Pluto wants to acquire self-knowledge. All right. Saturn is the planet of lessons and karma. It's restriction, right? And it kind of doubles the effect of whatever Pluto's doing, and then Pluto doubles the effect of what Saturn's doing. It can feel very restrictive. It can be a time of great reflection and a lot of analytical crap. I wish I could tell you guys we're going to get out of this energy. We will get easing of it, but it's going to keep hitting. The Saturn conjunct Pluto is going to keep hitting all the way through January 2020. I don't feel energy shifts. I think I will, but just not yet. I'm not being affected by it, but I definitely am aware of the fact that there are energies definitely moving around right now. Dizzy more today. All right. So one of the things that Saturn conjunct Pluto will do is anything that you're already contending with in life, whether it's a physical issue, mental blocks, emotional blocks, obstacles, stuff like that, it will bring it up. It's truly like, to me, it's like the sand at the bottom of a jar of water, and someone's shaking it up, and now the sand, the granules are all over. So that you can see them in the water, and they've mixed with the water. These things have been shaken up so that we can separate from them, so we can do something with them. But it isn't a comfortable energy, and it is going to cause a whole lot of awareness over things that don't feel right or that aren't right. This is great energy, will last to 2021. It is great energy, though, Lillian. And let me be very clear on this. The energy is creating psychological shifts, physiological shifts, mental and emotional shifts, but most of all, spiritual transformation. So while it may feel challenging, it may appear to be challenging energy, the reason that it's there is to create a global awakening, a consciousness shift on the level of society, right? Awareness for all humanity. So it's a good thing that it's happening. I am commiserating with you guys a little bit and empathizing with you of the harshness of what it feels like. But it's good that it's happening. The more you face your issues, the more you take control of your ego, the easier this time is going to be for you. And then you'll be able to help other people get through their stuff that are like not even aware why they feel the way they feel, why they're being triggered the way they're being triggered. You used, I love this, Sheila. Used your singing bowl and meditated, playing with it, calm me down. Yeah, see those two singing bowls over there? I've been playing with them a lot. So use your tools, you guys. Use them. Right now, it does feel like the ego's in a battle with our true selves. And the true self wants to come alive. Transformational energy, just rainbows and unicorns for once. We had that. I mean, I don't think we really truly appreciated the 80s the way we should have. Those of us who are of that age, I really don't think we appreciated the 80s quite like we should have. Those were unicorns and rainbows in the 80s. There was opportunity. There was, all kinds of stuff. Meditation, I'm telling you. Right? Absolutely, Megan. Yeah. And meditation will get you farther than you realize. Sitting still in a place of just calming and emptying your mind and breathing will take you farther than you realize. It's the most medicinal thing we can do for ourselves, and we can do it anywhere. It doesn't take you going anywhere special to do it. You could sit in your living room. You can sit in your bed. You can sit in your office cubicle, sit in your car and meditate. So do what you can, but I just want you guys to know, like, it is feeling very challenging, but it is very exciting. I appreciate the 80s just in a different way. I love the 80s. The 80s is good. I think one of the best examples I can give you guys for what this energy is all about and what it's trying to create. How many of you have listened to Greta Thunberg's speech at the UN? I posted it on my personal timeline. I will post it on my business page here. How many of you have listened to her talk? Have you guys? My 80s queens. Gonna get shoulder puffs. We'll get a perm to get the energy back. No, the 80s were the best. So how many of you have listened to Greta Thunberg's United Nations talk on climate change? She's from Sweden. She's a young girl. You listened to it, Sheila? Yeah. Any of you? It's not political. It's on climate change. I find this very interesting. She's an Aquarius baby too, that was born in 2003. So she'll be 17. She's 16. She looks like such a little kid. She had an amazing speech. And the whole speech, I think, is posted on NPR, but I will share the post. If you're not actually, you can go to my personal Facebook. It's posted there. I will share it here on this page. But the reason I'm sharing this with you, in the class that I take on astrology, the person I study under, he pulled her chart up, and we were doing a whole, like, looking at her chart and what makes her, like, where the planets are hitting her and where her planets are, that makes her such a loud voice for this time that we're in, right? And she's amazing young person. She's an amazing voice, and she's created a movement. She's been at this for a while with climate change, in trying to get the people that are in charge to pay attention to what they're doing to the planet. And she's got a voice that's being heard, and the media is finally covering it, and she didn't do this for the media attention. She's doing it to try and save the planet. Like she said basically something to the effect of, I shouldn't be here. I should be at home at school enjoying my life, but I can't because of what you're doing to the planet. Like, it's a huge wake-up call, right? That's the time we're in. It's the Greta Thunbergs of the world that are using this energy of Saturn conjunct Pluto to say, look, pay attention. This isn't working, right? To break down the structures, to bring about knowledge, to get us to make different choices. That's what the energy has been doing, will continue to do all the way through 2020. So if you're feeling like under the gun, it's not meant to hurt you. It's not meant to challenge you just for the sake of challenge, right? The universe isn't pushing you for the sake of just poking at you. It's to create a change and a shift within you, always when things happen for your highest good. And I want you guys to really think about that, along with everything else we've talked about today. So I will come back on later in the week, and we'll talk a little bit more about what the astrology is doing. Wonder if her words will get the wanted effect on Trump. Trump's just gone. I'm sorry, but like, he tweeted on her and just said, she seems like a really sweet girl, like she's a happy kid. Like, he didn't even, I think, listen to her speech. If he had, that would not have been his response. He's just not a very bright person, in my honest opinion. That's just my opinion. So, you guys are welcome to your own opinions. But yeah, when I saw that tweet, I was like, but it's her, it's that generation. The kids will be running the world in 100 years or 50 years or whatever. She's trying to save us for the next 100 years. So yeah, these kids are standing up now and saying that we don't like what you're leaving for us. And you don't seem to care that you're not going to be around to deal with the consequences of your own behaviors and choices, is basically to summarize her speech, but she did it much more eloquently and with emotion. Hi, Kat. That's what this energy is bringing. And that's the purpose behind this energy. It's internally for ourselves, clear away that which is blocking us from our joy, from our connection, from what makes us connected to the earth, to the sun, to the moon, to the universe, to source energy. We have to pay attention to it. And no, it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable to get out of party mode and go into facing the shadows within ourselves and growing beyond our current limitations. It's not fun. Sure, we would love to stay in the 80s and play like we did in the 80s, right? But here we are, and we can't, because we have consequences to the way we've been living. Like, we can keep going the way we're going, and it's sustainable. We have to create sustainable practices. We have to create a sustainable climate, a sustainable forest, a sustainable, fuel. Like, we have to. It can't be about profit. And that is what these changes are bringing. The Saturn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn that we are having January 12th, 2020. For those of you who keep asking me, well, what's it about? Because it's in Capricorn, it really is going to hit and illuminate a lot of stuff on the level of world economics, global economics, how we're doing business, right? How we're handling money. So for a lot of people right now, finances are coming up. How your relationship with money is coming up. Stress about money is coming up. How you make your money is coming up. Like that's a big focus for this Capricorn Saturn Pluto conjunction that hasn't been around since I think like the 1500s was the last time it was in Capricorn. It takes that long to make its way around. Big, huge things happen during Saturn Pluto conjunctions the way that we've got. Then you have Jupiter jumping into the mix, expanding all of it as well. So this is a big time of shifting and changing, which is why I'm trying my best to be here for you guys. Hi, Lou. Trying my best to give you as much information as I can like this in live streams so you guys can begin to unravel it for yourselves. But like you saw working with Megan, and that was on a lighter issue. Like that is not, I work on much deeper issues when we're in a private session. So if you need that, then just book with me. You know, that's what I'm here for and I'm good at. And not that I'm so great, but that spirit through me, I allow spirit to come through and help you guys work through your stuff on much deeper levels. And I mean, sometimes people don't like what I have to say because it hits the truth in them. And it takes 24 hours for them to swallow that, recognize it, and then do something with it. Usually I'll get a thank you later. But at first it's like, oh, you're right. I don't like you. And then the light bulbs go off and spirit does spirit's work. You digest the information and process it and then go do something with it. So it's not the easiest job in the world, but that's what I'm here for you guys. So forgot what I was doing in the 15th century to compare. We don't have anything to compare this to, you guys. We're in a different world where technology has hit levels that we've never seen before. Right? So we just have to deal with the unknown and accept it for sure. And nobody likes the unknown. Nobody likes that we're breaking through into new technologies either, and that we actually need to invent new technologies to handle the dysfunctional stuff that we have created on this planet. And it may mean that, you know, we simplify things a little bit more, and nobody wants that either. Human beings are funny creatures. We want to make everything super difficult. And then somehow we think we've accomplished something when we simplified it. I prefer to just keep it simple. Let's simplify it from the very beginning and keep it uncomplicated, because really life is not that complicated. Human beings make it complicated. The animals remind us how uncomplicated it is, right? The fact that I had physical reaction to your message from Spirit tells me it's exactly what I needed to hear. Yay. And for that, I love that. I love that, Megan, because that means that work, that spiritual food that you ingested, it's going to do some work on you for a while and then open those pathways that need to be open. So I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you all later. I'm going to go grocery shopping now and go buy some food and take care of my family. Got some open sessions for this evening. I've already blocked out my grocery time. So if you guys want to book with me, message me first and we'll make it work if you need to talk tonight. Okay. Otherwise, I've got lots of openings tomorrow. For those of you in Patreon, we're doing our weekly forecast tomorrow. This ought to be interesting because, oh my God, like there is so much stuff moving around. And those of you in Charm Life, I will see you on Thursday. Good night.